Because measurement is the beginning and end of what is in the physical world. You know it's flat because you measure it that way. You know it's flat because you measure it that way.
I thought yesterday was extremely successful because it's all well and good expanding out the audience, asking people to share. We might get more people viewing it from an outside perspective. Inside Earth Awakenings is us. Our peers are there, and having our peers understand this argument, maybe my grandiose ideas of putting this out to people like Dave Weiss in the first instance was just too ambitious. Why? There's fellow peers debating about it, actually debating about it in these servers. And we can go in and say, you know, up until now, we've all argued about how Earth isn't a globe. Well, we need to change our tune. We need to start telling people Earth's measured flat. That should be our opener in every instance. And I don't want to hear, for anybody who's listening to this, other people live on a globe and will tell you, yeah, they will. And if you want to debate that person, you better learn how to debate them here, with the very best arguments you can possibly acquire. But if you just want to know Earth's flat, which I didn't get from any of the shows that I arrived at, all of them labelled Flat Earth in the titles, did any of them prove to me straight off the cuff that Earth's measured flat, like I just did with those three angles that are on screen? This now being a representation of a line of position along a flat baseline. Did I get that from the first, second, third, 300th, 1000th show that I watched labelled Flat Earth? No, I did not. I was still getting more and more angry as I failed to prove with a silver bullet that Earth was measured flat when asked. So I had to debate about things I understood about how the globe didn't work for years and years on end. Now we don't need to do that anymore. It's 2024. What we need to do is understand that Earth is flat, and that should be our starting point. Not understand how the globe doesn't work when they point a sextant at the horizon and it's not Earth curve. Why are we mentioning it? All we're doing is measuring Earth flat, state it as fact, and get on with your day. Now, should a globe cleaver come to Flat Earth debate and tell us that's not the case, we'll have them make their claim, and we'll point out how Earth is measured flat. Because it is. Now, they might tell us, I understand it's measured flat, but it's so big. Yeah, on you go with your religious belief. We've all agreed Earth's being measured flat because it is measured flat for you and me. Even though you've got a belief that that's just because it's so big that it's flat, even though that's utterly absurd. You can go on with your belief. But we both agree and both understand that it's measured flat. You just think so biggy it's flatty. I just know it's measured flat and you also know it's measured flat. So we're all in agreement. No need to debunk any globe assertions that so biggy is flatty is anything other than it being measured flat, because it is and you agree. Good. That's how we should move forward. Not, oh, by the way, the horizon's not Earth curve, because if it was Earth curve, it wouldn't do X, Y, and Z. Well, that was all well and good in 2023, but 4 years of the Black Swan later, you all know the Black Swan. One last thing that didn't get discussed yesterday with Whitsitt. He asserted that an unfair comparison was made when I say you don't go back knocking on the doors of Scientology if you've left the cult. You don't go back learning advanced Scientology like Xenu, which the lower echelons of Scientologists do not get privy to. So what, when you leave the cult, you need to learn more about Xenu and Thetans, like OT4 level, because you weren't at that, to get away from the cult, because should some of your family members be in that cult, they might tell you that the only reason you're leaving is because you don't understand it, therefore you need to learn more. No. By comparison, that's dealing with fundamentalist religious zealots. In a reality that we currently inhabit 10 years after we've stepped into this subject, there are people who've grown up in a world that haven't been indoctrinated into the globe, as Whitsitt asserted. Now, 10 years ago, that might have been true, Whitsitt, but two of them are making a right racket outside my door right now. They haven't grown up in a world where they believe that the world's a spinning ball. They haven't grown up with that fundamentalist religious belief being indoctrinated into them. And there's a whole generation of people making up the numbers currently, the youth, that potentially are in the same boat as my kids. They haven't been brought up with a fundamentalist religious belief that needs undoing at the first opportunity by someone claiming to prove that we're on a flat plane. Just prove we're on a flat plane, if that's what you claim. And tell me how it's not a sphere. I don't need to go through the rigmarole of undoing a religious belief that a good chunk of people now, especially when there's a couple sat out my door, have not grown up believing in. Not anymore. That's not the case in 2024. Right, I am done now.
Yeah, but Nathan, Whitsitt can never lead with that. And I'm going to tell you why. Because he still has this ether to push, so he's never going to go front foot first with Earth is measured flat. That's the bottom line.
I can tell you why, too. Because measurement is the beginning and end of what is in the physical world.
Yep.
Measurement. If I measure a 2x4, right, to be 12 inches long, is anyone going to tell me that 2x4 is a ball?
It's absurd.
That's right. It's absurd.
So therefore, should I spend quite a significant time describing the 2x4 as not a ball and how it couldn't be a ball?
Or should you have to worry about people that are going to come up to you and claim it's a ball? No.
And if they
just
do,
measured it.
If they do, I'll, as you were just about to say, sorry, I cut you off. We measure it flat, the 2x4 and Earth. Here's an example. What's that? You say so biggy, it's flatty. So measured flat then. Yeah, well, okay, off you go with your globe belief. I'm not interested in that. You don't need to convert me. And I'm certainly not going to proactively start describing your religion and how it don't work. Not interested, I'm afraid. Yeah, I may have been interested for 9 years of this subject matter. Not anymore. I've got the best brains in the subject debunking the globe and have been for years. Go and look at Black Swan. You want to see how the globe gets ripped apart? It's dead. Maybe not for the zealots, but is that my primary concern? I don't care about the zealots. They're zealots. Likewise, if I'm going to try and appeal to a Scientologist in good standing that they're not supposed to believe in Xenu, do you think I'm going to be successful? No, they're concerned about their Scientology in good standing, as opposed to whether or not I can prove Xenu doesn't work for whatever logical consistency argument I can present to the die-hard Scientologist. No, I don't need to do that. On the contrary, when I describe how volcanoes work, even if it's to a Scientologist, I'll just describe how a volcano works. And then that'll be it. That'll be the end of it. I don't need to describe how it doesn't have thetans in it just because I'm talking to a zealot. Now, if the zealot then says, oh, no, it does have thetans in it, that's a different matter, isn't it? I haven't taken the step forward into debunking, by comparison, obviously, to heliocentrism, Xenu and Scientology, when I only have a necessity to describe how a volcano works. Yeah, I don't need, because I am now a volcanologist or a person who investigates how volcanoes behave, I don't need, as a person in that primary field research, to tell you how it doesn't work in Scientology just because I used to be a Scientologist. And there might be Scientologists who have an objection. Yeah, there might be. Doesn't change how a volcano works, and it doesn't change how Earth is measured flat. For everybody.